What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Game Day with Trey. Of course, this is your host, Trey. And today we are going to talk about this NBA playoff round two, game two matchup between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets. All right, so this game will be played at 10 p.m. East Coast time. Opened up over under 208.5, Denver minus 5.5. Over under has since moved to 208, and it's still Denver minus 5.5. All right, you guys. So let's go ahead and let's talk about the last time these two teams did match up. Minnesota Timberwolves have yet to lose a game in the postseason, and they will be full of confidence following their 106-99 win over the Nuggets in that game one on Saturday, man. We all know Ant Edwards led the team with 43 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, on 17 of 29 shooting. Karl-Anthony Towns, he came through, added 20 points, and Mike Conley tallied 14 points and 10 assists. As a team, Timberwolves shot 52% from the field, 11 of 27 from three-point, and even though they struggled against the Nuggets defense, and scored 17 points in the second quarter. As they trailed, you guys, y'all do know they did make a big comeback. Meanwhile, in Denver, all right, the Nuggets are hoping to avoid falling into a 2-0 series deficit, coming off a flat loss to the Timberwolves in that game one. Jokic led the team with 32 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. Michael Porter Jr. 20 points, 6 rebounds, 3 steals, and Jamal Murray chipped in with 17 points, man. But no other players finished in double digits for that team, and that you can't come out like that. As a team, the Nuggets shot 46% from the field, 13 of 31 from three, as they did a great job to keep the Timberwolves in check for most of the half. But, they had an uncharacteristic game, to be honest with you. Like, how often do you see the Denver Nuggets allow a team to actually beat them when they had the lead in the third quarter and parts of the fourth quarter, you guys? This is why I mentioned it in the last video. I said you're watching possibly or not possibly, you're definitely watching the changing of the guard in the NBA right now, as far as who is the man, who is not the man, and who's not doing it no more. Okay, this is the first time you've seen a playoff in the second round where there is no LeBron, and since 2007, where there is no LeBron James, there is no Stephen Curry, there is no Kevin Durant, there is no Giannis, there is no Kawhi. Okay, those are all the champions that you've had over the last almost a couple decades, almost. You know what I'm saying? It's almost there. We're a couple years away from that. It's been 20 years, and that's the guys. You know what I mean? So please enjoy what you're watching. Don't just enjoy it for the gambling aspect, but enjoy what you're watching. Take it all in. This is great basketball that we're watching right now, and the changing of the guard is very important. Now, the Denver Nuggets blew through their playoffs last year. They never trailed in a series, only dropping 4 games on the way to the title. Things are completely different this year, guys. All right, and the Timberwolves completely showed up in game one. The Timberwolves have started the postseason with 5 straight wins, all convincing. All right, and Minnesota Timberwolves are executing. They were killing it on Saturday night, man. Like, for real. Ant Edwards is the truth. All right, but Denver isn't panicking. We all know that. Sweeping the playoffs probably wouldn't be as fun when we look back on the memories, says Reggie Jackson. Wow, that's how you feel? That's how you feel? All right, now, the Timberwolves have coasted through the postseason, like I already told y'all. And, Murray says everybody's got leg injuries, because we do know he is nursing a leg injury, a calf injury, you guys. And they had to make some adjustments, and they're monitoring it, and this and that, and third, since the game 5 against the Lakers, or game 6 against the Lakers, guys. But he says everybody's got leg injuries. Everybody's playing through something at this point in the season, and my calf is no different than anybody else on the team. All right, one player who isn't struggling, like we already know, is Ant. All right, and Jokic says about Ant, to be honest, he's a special player. I have huge respect for him. He can do everything on the floor. You need to give him respect. How good and how talented he is. And Jokic is not playing. That's the truth. Okay, because that young man, beast. He's a straight dog. I love the mindset. I love the mentality. And I think the NBA needs to bring back a little bit more of the same mindset, the mentality that he has. Jokic said about facing Edwards, he said, going against the best player in the world is always fun. Or Edwards said about facing against Jokic. He said, going against the best player in the world is always fun. Going against the best team in the world is always fun. And that's what you want to hear, guys, from somebody who's a young leader trying to take their team to the next. You also want to hear things like the whole team, we trust each other. It doesn't matter down the stretch who takes the shot. And that's very important, man. Michael Jordan passed the ball at the end of the game. Kobe Bryant to win that title against Boston passed the ball at the end of the game. Okay, so everybody got to remember this. Everybody just doesn't have to always take the shot. Sometimes you got to make the smart play, you guys, and to do what needs to be done. Now, to look at the injury report, like I was just kind of glossing through a little bit. Minnesota, they don't have any new injuries. Jalen Clark's still out with the Achilles. Denver, Murray is questionable. He's hampered by that left calf string. Unknown if he'll be ready, but we all know he'll be ready. He is not going to sit out. Not this game. Not this game. He's definitely not sitting out this game, guys. Okay, and then when you look at how these two teams have been matching up in the last 10 times that they played, okay, you're talking about two teams that are really almost even. I mean, at the end of the day, the Nuggets are 6-4 straight up in the last 10 against the Timberwolves, and the Timberwolves are 6-4 against the spread, okay, in the last 10 against the Nuggets. So, and it's 5 to the over, 4 to the under, 1 push. These two teams have met now, what is this, 5 times this season. Out of the 5 times they've met, it's now 3-2 Minnesota. Okay, Minnesota in all their wins, they have scored at least 106 points. And in all Minnesota's wins, the Nuggets have not scored over 99 points, guys. Okay, so it all starts with the defense and how this team comes out and sets the tone. It's been, so far this season, it's been 3 to the under and 2 to the over. Minnesota is killing it against the spread so far this season. It's been 5-1. Minnesota is 5-1 against the spread against this team this season. When I tell y'all information, you got to pay attention to it. Okay, I told y'all that last time when these two teams matched up in round 1. I told y'all I like the points, man. I told y'all I like the dogs. Okay, now when we come back, okay, and we look at just situationally how over the season, because even though we are looking strictly postseason, you got to understand the full season and how these two teams have played, even after looking at how they played in the last 10. So which I forgot to mention, the last 10, which 6 of them or not 6 of them, 4 of them for the Timberwolves were all playoff games, which they killed Phoenix, and then they just got done killing Denver. So they're 5-0 straight up in the last 5 games, which are all playoff games. They're 8-2 straight up again in the last 10, 6-4 against the spread, 7 to the over, 3 to the under in the last 10 games, and then just in the playoffs, 2, 3, 4 overs and 2 unders in the playoffs, guys. Or wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, well, I'm sorry, going all the way back to the last game of the season, because remember, they did play Phoenix in the last game of the season, and that game didn't go over, but it's 3-3 or 3-2 in the playoffs so far to the under. Now, in the last 10 games, Denver, we all know they're 7-3 straight up, 5-5 against the spread, 4 to the over, 6 to the under in the last 10. They did come out this Lakers series, and it was a dogfight. They barely won it. They basically were losing for 90% of the series, minutes-wise, and they only won by 0.7 points when you look at total points that they were scored on each end and what they won by. So they really came out of a dogfight, whereas Minnesota, when they came into this series, it really wasn't a fight for any portion of when they fought Phoenix and played Phoenix, guys. And that's why this is very scary right now with the books still giving up that 5.5 right now. Okay, and that over-under set where it's at. Now, like I said, situationally, as a home team, Denver is 36-9 straight up at home. And as an away team, Minnesota is 29-15. And as an away underdog, Minnesota is 19-5 straight up. And as a home favorite, Denver is 35-9. But what you need to pay attention to is against the spread. All right, on the road, as a dog, Minnesota's 11-9 against the spread, and as a home favorite, Denver is 21-22-1. Yeah, pay attention to the signs, man. Sometimes the numbers and mathematics will be letting you know which direction you need to be looking at, man. Now, if you're looking over under, as a home favorite, it goes 18 to the over, 26 to the under, and as an away underdog for Minnesota, it goes 12 to the over and 8 to the under. Now, that means they can play any way they need to play because, Minnesota is a team that can lock in on defense, as we've seen before. And as we saw in the previous game, Minnesota came out there, all right, and on their head-to-head, that game went under 210. And like I told you, in any of the games that Minnesota wins, Denver does not score more than 99 points. Okay? So that's something to really pay attention to because even when Denver wins, okay, this season, all right, the lowest, even when Denver wins, the 2 times that they beat them, Minnesota still scores 107 points. All right, like when they lose, Minnesota's still gonna score. All right, so that's why there's some stuff to look at that could be good things to pay attention to, especially like team total overs, things like that in the series. That could tell you a lot of what you need to actually understand is going on, guys, and good looks. Those are just good, honest looks, guys. So anyway, to get back to where we're at, all right, let's talk about how these two teams match up and what's going to happen, right? So the Timberwolves have won 4 of their last 5 playoff games as underdogs. The Nuggets have lost 3 of their last 4 Western Conference semifinal games as favorites. All right, the Timberwolves have covered the spread in each of their last 7 playoff games, and the Nuggets have failed to cover the spread in each of their last 5 games against Northwestern Division opponents. Whereas the Nuggets have won each of their last 20 Monday games at Ball Arena. Okay, Timberwolves have lost 4 of their previous playoff road games against Northwestern opponents. So they've lost 4 of their last 5 on the road against Northwestern Division teams. And the Nuggets have covered the spread in 9 of their last 10 games following a home loss. Now, 8 of the Nuggets' last 9 playoff games have gone under the total points line. 9 of the Timberwolves' last 11 games as underdogs, guys, have gone have gone under or over the total points line. So what do we need to understand here? We need to understand that 5.5 should be speaking to you. Okay, it should really be speaking to you if you have faith in Ant Edwards and you think that he is a young dog and you think that he's somebody that can handle business. If not, take Denver money line. Don't take Denver giving up no 5.5 or 6 points. Take Denver money line, guys. All right. Now, Hard Rock is offering the Timberwolves plus 260 right now. So if you feel froggy, then that's the direction you should be jumping at right now. I do like the Timberwolves team total over, regardless of what is said about unders and this and that and the third in defense. I think the Timberwolves are going to come out there and they're going to put up the points I just got done telling you guys. You know what I mean? Anytime you can see their team total points, all right, and I'm going to call it out to you. So Timberwolves team total points right now is set between 99.5 and 101.5. They're going to score over 99.5. At minimum that. So I believe that you need to go out there and you need to hit that team total over Timberwolves right now. Lock that in before something crazy happens. In-game bets are also good in this situation. But yeah, that's what I'm leaning. So I'm definitely finna lock in that Minnesota Timberwolves team total over 99.5. That's happening. Probably going to try to get the Timberwolves plus 7.5 by buying some points, do single game parlay with something, you know. I think Timberwolves are a live dog, though. I really do. I really think that dog's barking. I think that the Nuggets should be reeling right now and trying to figure out what they're going to do, especially with the way how Nas Reed came out, you know, at the end of that previous game. Nas Reed was a breath of fresh air that team needed to come out and finally pull out that win, man. If he wouldn't have came out and put up them points in the fourth quarter, it might have been a problem. But that's some of the things we spoke about in the last one, man. It's the matchups, it's the size, it's the defense, it's the way that Minnesota plays. Okay, and can they find an answer for Ant Edwards? That's the question. And still try to figure out a way to contain Cat and stop Conley, and like there's a lot of things, a lot of moving parts to figure out when you're dealing with this Minnesota Timberwolves team, guys. Dogs barking. I'ma holler at y'all. I'm see you at the window. Peace.